In the meantime, breaking news in the case of this U.S. Navy SEAL accused of roughing up a suspected terrorist. The defendants in this case are now 3 for 3. 3 trials, 3 acquittals. A military jury finding Matthew McCabe not guilty on all charges. He was accused of punching a suspect, the mastermind of a gruesome attack in Iraq that left 4 Americans dead. But McCabe maintained his innocence. Earlier today, he talked about the outcome on Fox and Friends.
I feel outstanding. This is the best I've felt in definitely a long time. I'm just happy it's all over with and I can move on.
And we move on to Steve Centani outside the Naval Station in Norfolk, Virginia. What swayed the jury here, Steve?
Well, Bill, I don't think it was one thing. You talked to the attorneys right after the verdict. They said there were a variety of things, just an abundance of reasonable doubt. And as in a criminal case, they have to find the defendant guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. They didn't do that here. They thought there was a lot of doubt in a lot of different areas, and so they found Matthew McCabe not guilty. As you heard, he's a very happy young man this morning, about to go about his duty to go to some more training, then possibly go back overseas. But he said it's been a very hard time for him, but it turned out well. Here's what he said just after the verdict.
It was pretty intimidating being in that courtroom and knowing that your career and your life is in the hands of 7 people that you have no idea who they are. But I came out not guilty, so I'm more than happy right now.
So if there was one thing, it was probably the credibility of the 2 witnesses the prosecution put on. One of them was the accused terrorist himself, Ahmed Hashim Abed, who said he was punched in the stomach. But of course, the defense claims he could have caused the blood to flow from his lip himself by biting his lip, and that's what they think happened, Bill.
So I mentioned 3 for 3. 3 Americans charged, 3 acquittals.
Right. That's right. We had 3 Navy SEALs tried, 2 of them in Baghdad, and they were acquitted, one by a judge, one by a jury. Then Matthew McCabe tried here in Norfolk, Virginia. He didn't want to confront his accuser, Abed himself, so he didn't have to go to Baghdad for his trial. It was held right here in Norfolk. And it was 4 days of pretrial testimony, pretrial motions, then testimony, and finally the verdict yesterday, and a 7-member jury deciding he's not guilty. The defense team very happy about that, and they said that he is fully vindicated because of this. Let's listen to Haytham Faraj.
They didn't just find him not guilty, they found him innocent. There's a difference. I mean, you find someone not guilty because the government didn't prove their case beyond a reasonable doubt. I'm convinced that they found him innocent.
Well, there's no distinction legally, is there?
Maybe not legally, but to normal people it's important.
And these attorneys hailing Mr. McCabe as a hero. And of course, there was a huge outpouring of support from the public. There were websites, there were rallies, there were legal defense funds, and it all turned out well for Matthew McCabe. Bill?
Thank you. In Virginia, that's Steve Centani. Thanks, Steve.